So I bought a manual Audi R8. I thought I was doing the right thing, buying a really nice example, low mileage, well kept, low owners. I've done all my homework. I wrote the blooming R8 owner's guide, for goodness sake. It's up in the top corner if you want to check that out. But get a listen to this. So it probably goes without saying at this point, that whine is not normal. In fact, it's coming from the front differential. So the problem is, I want to drive this car to the Nürburgring later this year. I want to do the North Coast 500 with it. And for that reason, I need it to be 100% reliable. On that note, I want you guys to join me for these travels. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Just get it out of the way. Hit it now. It's right there. And so tonight, in bloody freezing Scottish temperatures, in my humble carport, we're going to pull the front diff out of this Audi R8. Very kindly, the company who are doing the repairs on the diff have also agreed to provide some footage of the actual repair process, which is very nice of them. So that'll be in the video a little later on. Stick around for that. And yeah, basically, wish me luck. Oh my god! Yeah, it's not fun. So I'm going to try here, guys, to show you the jacking points on the car. So this one's pretty obvious, wherein it slots into the bottom of the car, and then my handsome assistant can show us the other spot as well. Let me try and tuck the camera under for you.
You'll actually see a bung, which is the rubber O-ring. This is the solid frame of the car. See, as long as you stay within this area, you won't damage anything, because the actual body and chassis frame goes across it.
Usual case here, I'm doing all the work. Had your jack stands in as well. I'll stop this before I blind Junior. So we can actually see the diff, but getting to it's another story. As you can see, a million bolts need to come out. First up, we're taking this tray here off, so once we drop that, we can get the metal plate that runs down the prop. Oh no.
We'll come to that one in a minute. It's actually the head of this.
Oh, is it? Do you want me to see if I've got a better one?
Oh no, it's fine, I'll dig one out in a second.
Okay. I think that's what we need. There we go.
Audi R8. Perfecto.
Go on. Go on. Oh, fuck off. Do you reckon we put these in too tight or something?
No, what is it? You basically just, you run them in.
Did we put them in too tight? Is it time to admit that, or?
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
We did run them in.
We did use a gun. We maybe shouldn't have used a gun, but do you want a hammer?
Yeah.
Do you what?
I've got one right.
I was joking. Yeah, okay. I was doing a Jeremy Clarkson, fix it with the hammer. Is this the correct technique?
It's basically just rocking it so that when I take it out...
Blinding you, sorry man.
Oh no, it's fine. Whenever I put pressure on it, it'll take it off.
Yeah. Are we winning?
Yeah. I'll put the way.
Yeah, so it looks like no chance we're going to get to it without removing that middle.
Pretty much. This has to come in there.
How many bolts? 4 or 5?
36.
36 bolts.
So what happens when you use a ratchet on cold metal? Takes the head clean off it.
The camera doesn't even want to focus on it. Yeah, that's knackered.
See, because it is a smooth break, it means you can still use it.
This isn't really a bad job, it's just a kind of sucky job.
Yeah.
Lying on the floor. And
It's a pretty easy job, like as jobs go, it is a very easy job.
What would you rate it out of 10 should a novice home mechanic attempt it?
I reckon as long as you're careful and you use your safety equipment, like your axle stands, make sure if you are using like buzz guns and that you're very careful with it. Yeah, I reckon it would probably be about a 4 or 5.
One of the common problems that we highlighted in the R8 buyer's guide, and that is a coolant leak at the front of the car. So there's the diff, and just above that we should just about see the coolant pipe. That's usually where it leaks from if you've got a pool of coolant under the front, just above that diff. Right, so what are we doing here?
I'm going to put the jack under the front of the frame of the car and then lift the actual front of the jack, and then I will use our high stands to hold it in place so we can move a bit more freely underneath now.
So this is just to get it a little bit higher,
yeah,
basically?
Right,
much. Okay, fair enough. What are we up to here?
Right, we're getting drive shaft basically. On Volkswagen they like to use a cup system. So you get your drive shaft with your CV joint, but rather than actually having a spline shaft that goes into your diff, it's a cup, and then the two cups bolt together, so you can split it without actually having to remove oil. So you can take diffs out of these without having to take oil out and that, which is really handy.
Yeah, they're sealed, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're going to need quite a big extension for that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you talking super duper tight on these, or not too bad?
No, they're actually really not. They're really bad for splitting the heads off of them.
Right.
So you do have to be very careful with them.
Okay.
Torque settings for you. And there's our local Hoon and a Fiesta or a Focus, one or the other.
Sounded 5-potty. Someone's got 5-pot.
So this is the prop shaft we're removing now. And once we remove that, we're only literally onto the 218s and the 4 M10s that actually hold the front diff up. Once you do that, you can drop it because we've added the extra height. It means that we can drop it down and slide it out, so we don't actually have to fight with the prop shaft of removing the full thing.
So here it comes, big moment.
Yep. Wow.
It's out.
To be fair, my arm took the weight of it, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well, that was different.
You fun master.
Definitely needs a rebuild now. It's like a murder scene with a light and stuff on it. Oh yeah, that's tight. It's probably tighter than it should have been. So diff out here, guys, was just explaining, but I had my mic turned off. A little bit of play in this bearing, possibly the cause of the howl, we're thinking.
But millimetres of play when travelling at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 times revolutions per second is quite frightening.
So next stop for this, guys, Hale Motors, and we'll pick up the story from there.
Audi R8 Diff rebuild. You'll see in there the new races are in there, the outer races. There's the bearing themselves, that one's pressed on. New one there as well. So yeah, we're getting there. There's the old bearing, look how that just collapsed. That's just the balls came out of that, so obviously when I pulled it out they went in the bin. It was wobbling all over the place. I've pulled the bearings off there ready for the new ones to go on there, the spacers. What you have to do with these is you have to shim the crown wheel, so I can show you, the crown wheel in and out and forward and back into the pinion to get it right, otherwise it's noisy. We'll be doing that, fitting all the bearings in, doing that. On one of these, it's not got a collapsible spacer as such. You have to actually, you get shims and you keep shimming it until it's right on both sides. So it is a bit of a pain. Usually the crown wheel stays in the same place, it's just the pinion you have to shim. Well, there you go, Audi Diff will be like new. And there's the bearings. You can't get those from Audi, but we have a supplier that supplies them, which is good news. And hopefully, it'll be gone tomorrow. Done. Thank you for watching.
And just like that, we're finished. Differential back in the car, and come on guys, cross your fingers with me. Let's really hope this has worked, and I don't need to go and buy another diff after having repaired this one. On throttle, nothing, off throttle. On, coming off. So good news and bad news. The good news is there's going to be a part 2 to this video. Hurrah. Bad news is, hasn't fixed the car really, has it? In fact, it sounds much worse than when we began. But you know what guys, that's life. Things don't always go to plan. We're just going to need to persevere with it. And I'll see you in part 2.